Done. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Parent Station, and a very good evening to all of you who have tuned in right now. I welcome you all to Parent Station, a one stop destination for anything and everything related to parenting. Today on this show, we have with us a very, very special guest, the Princess of Bhavnagar, Brijeshwari Kumari Gohil. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Brijeshwari Kumari Gohil, the Princess of Bhavnagar, has a BA Joint Honours degree in Archaeology and History of Art from the University of Nottingham, UK, and MA in Heritage Management and Conservation from Durham University, UK. She has worked as a researcher for Durham UNESCO Chair in Lumbini, Nepal. She is the founder of Bhavnagar Heritage Preservation Society that works towards preservation, protection, and promotion of Bhavnagar's heritage. She is also a certified yoga instructor by passion. It is our pleasure, ma'am, for having you on the show. And the topic we chose today to discuss is the importance of heritage, appreciation, and engagement in the young generation. So, ma'am, when we are talking about heritage, how would you like to define heritage?
First of all, good evening, good morning, wherever people are situated right now. Welcome to all of you, and a very big thank you to you for sort of putting this together. Parent Station and Small Wonders. I keep hearing of all the wonderful work that y'all are doing, and I'm so happy today to kind of be a part of the platform. And I hope that my 2 cents are actually valuable to the people who are listening to this. So, to begin with, heritage is something that one could classify broadly as any tradition, any part of the culture of a country that has existed for a long time. So this can be anything, right from your heritage buildings to your language. I mean, even Gujarati itself is part of this state's heritage, right? So I think all those tiny things woven together is what makes the heritage of India, for that matter. So
Lovely, lovely. So, you've just told us something about heritage, which we had something like heritage ka matlab it is only some building or this, but heritage includes everything what we can call our own.
exactly, and one kind of tries to bring in all these factors, because heritage is not just Agra ka Taj Mahal, or Humayun's tomb, or a temple, or anything like that. It's your, I mean, in a country like India, यहाँ इतनी सारी भाषाएं, all our traditional languages, dialects, all of that is also our heritage, right? So all the old recipes जो कि दादियाँ and परदादियाँ बना रहे हैं, and your mothers are also cooking it for you, माँ के हाथ का खाना, all that is also your family's heritage then. So all these things are, I mean, that's what makes a person, right? I mean, all these factors that influence your daily lives, these are all part of your ancestry, part of your history, and together that's what ends up being your individual heritage then.
Okay. So, ma'am, talking about this, what in Bhavnagar exactly comes under this banner?
So, I mean, firstly, Bhavnagar has so much heritage, and I think one kinds of doesn't end up highlighting it enough because we're such a w- we have all these things so ingrained in us that we don't realize that we should project it. I mean, Bhavnagar is a Kala Nagri, firstly. The people here are so well cultured and well informed, but it's about how we don't end up marketing that for, say, our tourism, for example. So, Bhavnagar heritage could be anything from your town hall, Ganga Dairy, your structural heritage, your Takteshwar Mahadev. All these are Bhavnagar's heritage structures. But that's not just Bhavnagar's heritage, right? You have Victoria Park, you have Peel Garden. These are all your natural heritage sites. Bor Talab, where we love to go and picnic. All these are Bhavnagar's natural heritage sites. You get to see all these wonderful birds that have been part of the city, part of the state. You have the migratory birds that come. These are actually birds that artists such as our very own local Somalal Shah, pioneering artist, he has painted all these, and we still see those paintings. And when you go to these natural heritage sites, you can actually see these birds. So these are these are the histories, the legacies of the city, and that is what makes the heritage. Even your food of the city, your local cuisine, your I mean, Bhavnagar's Gujarati itself, it's so different from, say, another city. So, for example, say Ahmedabad, the Gujarati that's spoken in Ahmedabad and the Gujarati that's spoken in Bhavnagar is so different, right? So that is what makes your city. So it's your individual heritage. The Even if you say the temples or the monuments, they may be government owned or they may be owned by someone else, but they are what, if someone comes to Bhavnagar, you want them to go see these places, right? So that is what makes up the city's heritage. So it's a combination of the tangible, the intangible, the natural, the cultural. So yeah.
So, being a Bhavnagari, really, after hearing this, I really feel proud that there are some things which we were totally unknown of. So, really, it is, you've changed certain notions which people have related to Bhavnagar. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So, when coming to the topic, ma'am, what do we mean when we say to appreciate or to engage with the heritage?
See, so for example, like I mentioned to you that Bhavnagar is a Kala Nagri. People here are. It's not like people in Bhavnagar don't know anything. It's not. That is not the. That's not my claim. I believe that people here are so knowledgeable. I write these articles in Saurashtra Samachar, and I keep trying to get in touch with uh, people who have been living here or who are way senior than me, because I mean that's how that's how you kind of learn, right? There's only that much you can read in a laptop or in a book, but when you go out, when you talk to people who have been living here for say 50, 60 years, they naturally end up knowing more than you do. So these are all these are all things that one knows but doesn't end up appreciating. You know that there's a very pretty Jashonath Mahadev, but do you really appreciate it when you are passing by? Do you say that, oh wow, see that temple here, it's such good architecture? No, I mean, as children, you will be like, oh, now Tuesday we have to go to the temple. So it's not about appreciating the temple. It's more about a chore that that one has to go here. So when you go there, you have to appreciate something. You have to engage with it. If you go to a place like Botalau, you don't just go there to picnic and take pictures, but appreciate the beauty also. Appreciate the scenery. Appreciate the birds. So it's about going outside your four doors of your room and actually engaging with the. If you go to a temple, see the architecture, appreciate that, oh wow, like 100 years ago someone actually sat and built all of that when technology was nothing. So so to appreciate those little things is what I mean by appreciating one's heritage, but appreciating one's city. And what tends to happen maximum times is when you live somewhere, you don't end up seeing anything in that city because you think that I live there only, I can go anytime and see that. So,
Yes, very
but when we go somewhere outside, we'll be like, huh, 5 days we have to go see these places. So why do we not do that in our own city?
so, just not, it should not just be an outing, but we should just gel with where we are going to. That is
Exactly.
what we need to say here. Uh,
Absolutely.
yes. And why would we consider this particularly integral in inculcating this feeling in the youngsters?
I think one is that you should always be proud of where you come from. So even if you have a better opportunity to study or work in any other part of the world, you there should be a sense of belonging in each person, I feel, and that's something that comes from your surroundings. When you, as a child especially, I would, on a personal level, I feel that when growing up, I never lived in Bhavnagar. I only moved here much later in life. But as a child, when I would come here, my mother would make it a point, for me to like know what the histories are, not just on a personal level, but more on a level that, this is the city, this is, these are the places, these are the people, these are the dialects, this is the, so to actually have that sense of belonging in a place where you don't somewhere in life end up having this identity crisis, that where is home in that sense. So
कहाँ से हूँ
I
मैं?
so I think that's very important. कि आप, you have pride in where you're from. You have pride in your in the people who live in that place, and the places that are there. To the extent that if someone बाहर से कोई आए भावनगर में, तो you say, oh no, Bhavnagar is so nice. We have these places to go to. We have this to do. So to feel that sense of belonging and to have that pride in where you're from, I think it's important to inculcate these values in a smaller age. At least from my personal experience, that's what I've felt.
That is a really lovely thought, I should say. And in what ways have like as I know that you are trying to engage and you are working towards it to engage these youngsters into our heritage and making them know more about it. So, in what ways actually you have facilitated this engagement?
So we started Bhavnagar Heritage as a platform when we noticed that, there is all this knowledge. It's not like people don't know. It's not that people are not aware. But at the same time, if someone comes from outside, they have not really seen much of Bhavnagar when they come. You have a lot of business travelers here, but tourism on the other side, it's not as good as it could be. So there is that potential scope to increase tourism, but at the same time, the people of Bhavnagar should have the pride to be able to sell tourism, right? If you go to a small place in, say, Rajasthan, you see the way they'll sell something is because they are so proud of that particular tradition or that particular culture that they are from. So Bhavnagar Heritage as a platform was created for that. And what ended up happening is I felt that there were so many interested people. It was just about coming together. It's not like no one was then had to be like, oh, please come here and engage with Bhavnagar's heritage. There were so many people who were interested in promoting and preserving the city's heritage. And through this platform, what we have tried to do is first try to make people appreciate their surroundings and to actually get the right information. So what ends up happening is, if you are going to a place in today's day and age, digital age, you end up just googling that, acha, there is this place. And plenty of times on a personal basis, I've seen this, that a lot of the city's heritage, if you search for, say, uh, the Brijeshwari Mahadev, the information that you will actually get on the temple is like 3 lines. You don't have enough information on anything to the extent that you can then appreciate it. You have to know something to appreciate it, right? So,
Yes.
so what we saw, the first thing was appreciation, and to make the people appreciate this, we started organizing awareness events. So these would be related to just small talks and lectures, but also to actually going to a site, to having a heritage walk where we go to a few different sites and see those places, talk about those places, have conversations. And then in recent times, we also organized we started a club in schools then, because we ended up thinking that you have this platform and most of our events have a mixed crowd where you have people aged from say 8 and 10 to 50 and 60 as well, so it's a very diverse crowd in that sense. When we started Bhavnagar Heritage Club in schools, we took it as a platform where students can come together and in the form of a competition, because what ends up happening is the only way students these days get motivated is when you put the word competition and when you put the word certification or prize, because then it's like we're going to get something out of this. Otherwise no one is motivated at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to go to a heritage site. but
True.
but if you say that, no, after you go there, you will have a first, second, third prize, and you'll have a certificate at the end. There is a lot of yeah. Then they will show up. So we used this weak point, and we organized a few events which were at places that would either be natural heritage sites such as Bortala, or you have a few cultural heritage sites. What the aim was that you are engaging outside the classroom, even if in today's age you have an art class in school, you're still sitting in that desk on that chair painting something that's already on the blackboard whiteboard for you, right? So this was a way of bringing students outside those four doors, being like engaging with the area that they're at, learning a little bit about the history of the place, the value of the place, but at the same time maybe painting the surroundings, or writing a poem on the area, something that inspires them as well. So it you kind of focus on the child's creativity, but at the same time you're also teaching them a little bit about the heritage. And I mean, this COVID situation, that's why has been so sad for me, because I feel that this is something that students are missing out now, because they don't have that opportunity. You're even learning on your phone, smartphone, or you're sitting on the laptop on Zoom. You're not able to come out of that and actually, just be part of an actual school and actually like an actually properly designed curriculum where you get all these other activities to do as well.
Yes, very true. In fact, it was like first they were closed into the four walls of the classroom, and now they are just stuck up on the screen. So
Exactly.
हालत तो ये है कि रूम से आ गए स्क्रीन पर, and the engaging factor, engaging with the nature is drastically missing when it comes to these present times. So
Absolutely.
if a parent or if anyone needs to teach the children about this on daily basis, how can we do this?
So, for example, you said something about nature. So, I just wanted to firstly highlight that we live in a city and we have so many natural heritage sites in the middle of a city. Very few
Yes.
cities actually have that to offer, where you have a park as extensive as Victoria Park. You have a lake literally in the middle of the city. You have field garden, which is great to just go. You have a play area there. You have a walkway there. So you have all these areas which are in the middle of the city. You don't have to go out. You don't have to make that extra effort in that sense. So I think the best way to really engage with one's natural heritage, especially, is that instead of sitting in the house and eating, go for a picnic outside, pack some food from the house, go sit by the lake, your show your children the birds that are flying in the air, make them appreciate the nature, because 10 years later, 20 years later, these are the people who will end up being your architects, your engineers. They will be the ones who will be the molding the city then, right? So when you have that sense of belonging and identity and you appreciate your surroundings, you would, I mean, you would naturally tend to create a better atmosphere in that place. Then you would want to make a better environment. Today, you have a site such as Bortala, where you have constant construction going on. I mean, you have all these new developments that have come around the lake, right? So these are parts of the city that should be protected, not for anyone else, but for the citizens themselves. They're public places that are meant for people of the city to enjoy. So I think the best way to engage with heritage is to actually go and visit these places, but at the same time you can also just read more about them. Instead of sitting on the smartphone and playing a game, give a book to your child to read. It's a great habit for later on as well, but at the same time, you end up learning something about your own place or about any other heritage site also, for that matter, or any other culture for that matter. So I think that is something, that is one of the best ways in which one can engage. We recently were organizing an event at Gopnath, and because of the COVID pandemic, we had to kind of stall it. But the aim of that program was specifically for parents and children, and the idea was that children can. We had someone working with public speaking, so you have someone who's actually, you're getting something out of it, in the sense that something that will help you in school as well as later on in life, the confidence that one achieves with public speaking. But at the same time, there was also yoga and meditation, tools which in today's day and age, especially with the pandemic, are so important. Your mental health is something that people don't talk about enough. So we had organized something like this where you could engage with the culture, the heritage of the area as well. But at the same time, you can also have this entire day full of activities. So I mean, of course, in current times, you can definitely engage by going to all these beautiful places. But I do hope that once this kind of subsides a little bit, we can plan such events as well, and have more people attend them. So.
Okay. I think our audience also will love to attend such workshops, and hopefully this gets over soon. And to the audience, I would like to say that as such, you are not able to go to the cinemas and watch movies. So, better on Saturdays and Sundays with your kids, just go to such places which is full of richness and appreciate the heritage of Bhavnagar. Now, when you go to Bhotao, just don't sit there, have your snacks, and litter the place around, but just try and appreciate those places, which I think not many cities are blessed with. So, I would really want people to comment if they really wish to, and if they have gone to such places and appreciate and felt engaged there. So, I would here like to thank Ma'am, Brijeshwari Ma'am, for this insightful and enriching session, uh, which made us know more about Bhavnagar and the heritage of any city. I feel people, not just for Bhavnagar, when where you're watching from doesn't matter, but your city has a heritage, has a culture full of richness. Do get engaged with that and appreciate it. So, thank you so much, ma'am, to be with us on this session. Thank you so much. And before I end, sorry, ma'am, I would like to thank Small Wonders for giving us a lovely platform like Parent Station where we can share such lovely topics. And
Thank you so
ma'am,
much for having me, firstly. And secondly, I did stress on natural heritage sites given the pandemic and, the availability of going to these places, the feasibility. But at the same time, you have a lot of structures in Bhavnagar. Presently, we have been working very hard to preserve the structure Ganga Dairy, which was built, in memory of the late Maharaja's wife. And if you do visit there, you would end up feeling that you're literally in a mini monument of Taj Mahal, for example. It's got very similar architectural elements as well. And I mean, one should be proud of that area and that site, but at the same time, it's something that as a child, you would really love to see a monument built in such a grand scheme in today's day and age, and it was built about many hundred years ago. So I think it's a structure that we are really hoping to preserve, and I would really encourage everyone to maybe plan a trip there and help your children gain some insightful knowledge as well.
Lovely, ma'am. Thank you for such knowledge, ma'am, which you've shared with us today. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And this is Mona Bhatt signing off with a promise to be with you all next Friday. Bye for now.